Hey, plenty of time for you to pick winners when you've paid for the losers.
How much does my husband owe you?
That's all right, Mrs. Dean.
How much?
All right, then. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll stick it all on the horse he gave me this morning. If it wins, you get the lot.
Believe it or not, down jumps the prince from a great white horse, half as big again as an elephant, and he picks her up in his arms and kisses her.
Hence his bigger horse. I'd like to have seen it. Willie bowed and gave me a kiss yesterday.
You must be careful who you go a-kissing of, young Dorothy.
Oh, here comes Mama.
My darling. Oh, Albert. Now, how can you work in a cafe all night if you don't sleep by day?
Oh, you'd never get rich if you stops in bed all day. And a nice neighbour I should be if I didn't drop in and have a look at the kids now and again. Besides, I've got something for that eye of yours that you banged into the wardrobe last night. Yes, there's nothing like a bit of raw steak for a bruise.
What, all that?
Well, you've got to take it internal as well as external, or it's no use at all.
Run along into the next room, darling.
But, Mom!
In a minute, my sweet. Albert, sometimes I think you're the only friend I have in the world.
Oh, don't talk so soft. Here, stick that in your eye. Nice fillet for madam? Yes, and not too well done, with half a dozen oysters and some sliced tomato. Very good, very good.
But I mean it.
Oh, applesauce. And don't forget the applesauce.
Since when can you afford a butler?
I've decided I can't even afford a husband.
Just what exactly is going on between you two? A romance?
There's an old suitcase in the next room. I wonder if you'd mind filling it with anything you can find in the chest of drawers.
All right.
Here, wait a minute.
Yes, I want you to wait. Be as quick as you can.
Well, what's the comedy?
It's over as far as you and I are concerned.
Really?
Now listen. I've paid your debts. Your gambling and drink debts. But unless you have the sense to get out of the country, there's one debt you may have to pay for yourself.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. English judges are not very well disposed towards blackmail.
Blackmail? You'd better be careful what you're saying.
No, you had. And I'm giving you a chance. I haven't much pride left. But I'd rather that my children didn't have the disgrace of a stepfather in jail.
Passage to Cape Town, eh? Oh, that's not so bad.
You spent the rest of my money and I got nothing out of it. This was the last I had. I've spent it selfishly to get rid of you.
You flatter me.
The boat train goes from Waterloo in an hour's time. If you take my advice, you won't miss it.
£10. That's not much. Oh, excellent, my man. Now slip downstairs and get me a cab.
Oh, do you think you'd be going away?
Him, I hope.
I've been thinking I'd have made a wonderful chucker out, given half the chance.
Goodbye, Evelyn. I nearly forgot you, waiter.
I shouldn't risk it, Mr. Dean.
Enjoy yourselves.
And where'd you be going?
Oh.
Not yet.
Now, if you two kids aren't in bed by the time your mother comes home, what am I going to say to her? Come on now, come along.
I want to take my dolly to bed with me.
All right, you take your dolly, that's it. Go on, in there.
Albert, what are you doing here? I asked Mrs. Roslin to put the children to bed.
Mrs. Roslin, a fine hand she is with kids. Wouldn't know which way up to put 'em.
You ought to be at the club.
There ain't no club. Closed down last night.
No, but why?
Well, you can't run a club if you don't have no members. And nowadays, human nature being what it is, a man or a woman either, for that matter, don't seem to fancy anything to drink until it's too late for the law to allow 'em to get it. And yet there's people in this blinking world what says honesty pays.
Hasn't paid me much of a dividend.
You've said it. Here, sit down. You're all in. You can't work 14 hours a day. It's against nature.
I'd work 24 hours if I thought it was any use. But it isn't.
You're all thinking of them kids.
Yes.
Well, they've got to take their chance like the rest of us.
No, they've got to be given a chance like the best of us. But how? Oh, it's so unfair. How are they going to get a chance when gambling and drink has cut the ground from beneath them?
Gambling and drink never did you much good.
Nobody any good.
That's where you're wrong. 'Cause you've always been on the wrong side of it.
Mm-hmm.
The fella that turns the wheel and draws the cork does all right. Lord love a duck, there's places round here, nightclubs, what makes 50, 100, 200 pounds profit a night. Drink and gambling has been a good friend to them, all right. You can take it from me. Why, if I had a bit of capital...
What would you do?
That little place I was in, that closed down last night. There wouldn't be no closing down if I had the running of it.
You'd take a gamble with the law?
I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Come in.
Good evening, Mrs. Dean.
Good evening.
Have you seen the late final? And you haven't seen what Scarecrow did at Newmarket? He done it all right. 196 saucepans. Knocking off the 16 jimmies owing on the old man's account leaves a credit profit payable here and now in Bank of England princes of 180 quid.
Yes, but I never put it in...
No, don't talk silly. I've paid myself up, haven't I? And now I've paid you. You owe me nothing. I owe you nothing neither. And being as I'm in need of a quick pint, it's a case of good night all. Or as the French say, Bob's your uncle.
Oh, Albert. £180.
Didn't I tell you drink and gambling owed you something? Well, it's paid its first dividend.
Its first dividend. Scarecrow. I like that name. Scarecrow.
What are you thinking, Mrs. Dean?
I was wondering. was wondering.
About them kids again.
In a way, yes. That little place that you used to work in, that club. Would there be any chance of getting hold of it?
Now you're talking.
Albert, I think I'll have my cash desk and the members' book in that little alcove over there.
If you take my advice, we'll screen it in. And have a door with a lock on it. So if the cops do give us a call, we should have nice time to throw the bottles out of the window.
Oh, it'll look fine when we get it fixed up as an old barn. One of those rakish old barns that smell of cows and hay.
You may find the A a bit difficult.
You're doing splendidly. Where did you learn to draw like that?
Oh, just came to me natural. As a kid, I was always drawing with bits of chalk on bridges.
I think we ought to have a few birds flying around.
Bless your heart, the place will be full of them once we get going.
I suppose you can't play the piano, Albert.
No. I have more of a fancy for the violin.
That'll be splendid.
Oh, I never laid my hands on one as yet.
And there'll be 5 shillings for any of you boys who can bring along a customer.
I'll bring some friends along.
Yes.
Thanks
Tell your pals.
Sure, and bring a few friends. Sure, I'll bring you plenty along. I'll show them all round to my friends.
John.
And talking of barns, I recall when I was a lad, barely out of my teens, there was a little dairy maid waiting.
Time, gentlemen, please.
Do you mean to say we can't have another drink?
Now, the law requires the table should be cleared at midnight.
Yes, but that was half full.
Well, to oblige a customer, sir, I might serve you from this list.
One may surely. These places are half as much again.
The risks of the establishment are very considerable, sir.
What a wangle, eh? This firm's going to get on. Well, bring us a bottle of the boy and to hell with it.
Very good, sir.
You were talking about some dairy maids.
That's right. Had an uncommonly fine calf.
Don't you think as your friend hasn't turned up, you'd better go home?
My friend will turn up, all right.
Not here, he won't. I'm sorry, but it doesn't happen to be that sort of club.
Oh, no?
No.
Then give me my bill.
Oh, you needn't worry about that. Good night. Good night. See you tomorrow night. Oh, that's splendid. So glad. Good night. Good night.
Have a lovely time. Thanks very much indeed.
We'll come see you again. Splendid. Getting your coat, all right?
Good night, sir. Thank you.
Good night. Good night. Good night.
Well, what do you think of it, Mrs. Dean?
I don't know yet. It's all right, I suppose. All this.
And that's only from drink. When the wheel starts turning, we'll cut the wedding cake.
The wedding cake. Now, everybody. Now, you'll slip the boat and cut the cake. All right. Messieurs et mesdames, faites vos jeux. In other words, let's go.
Rien ne va plus.
Zero wins. A lucky start to the house. Good luck, everybody.
Alors, messieurs, dames, faites vos jeux, faites vos jeux. Rien ne va plus. Rien ne va plus. 23 red, impact.
Hello? Fitzroy, 4444. Hello? Who? Oh, yes, Mrs. Dean. Yes, Dorothy's much better. She's asleep. Yes, the doctor came. No, nothing worse than a cold. But of course, if she will run off with strange boys and fall in the round pond, it must be expected. Well, kiss her for me.
Faites vos jeux. Faites vos jeux. Rien ne va plus. Rien ne va plus. 14, red. That's it.
Can you tell me where I can find Mrs. Dean?
Yes, sir. This way, sir. Come along, sir.
Can I have some chips?
This is Mrs. Dean, sir.
It's too bad to bother you, Mrs. Dean, but I had rather a run of bad luck in there.
Yes?
I went down the drain for 20 quid.
Oh, that's too bad.
It's rather a favour to ask you, but could you advance me a bit so that I might have a chance to win some back?
How old are you?
27.
19.
Well, as a matter of fact,
19. You want to get your money back?
it is rather a sock in the arm.
Very well.
Why, I say this is tremendously good of you.
Where are you going?
Have another fling at the table.
Oh, no, you're not. You wanted to get your money back and you've got it.
Yes, but
Albert, Mr. Landers hasn't hurt.
it makes me look such a fool.
But you have been. Good night.
You are a brick.
Oh, he was only a kid.
Well, what do you think you're doing? Running a Christmas turkey club?
I'm content to take it from those who are old enough and rich enough to lose it.
The music of the moon, the tender voice of June, a simple little tune. This is my love song, the melody of sighs, the words within your eyes, they seem to harmonize. This is my love song, the silent symphony of Christmas. While we are in each other's arms, a song that you and I...
Mesdames et messieurs, faites vos jeux. Les jeux sont faits. Rien va plus.
Look, Albert. This is the place.
Oh, regular palace, eh? And a few years ago, you were breaking your heart because you couldn't give them a chance.
I don't know yet whether the school will take them. I have an appointment with the principal tomorrow.
Take them, she'll think him. We'll have to take them.
May not be so easy, Albert. There's a word that we don't have much to do with in this club. Exclusive. Wish me luck.
Rien va plus. Rien va plus.
I knew you'd love them, Miss Littleton.
They look charming.
Ever since I could afford it, they've had only the very best governesses.
But why alter that routine, Mrs. Dean? Why are you so anxious for them to come to school?
It isn't only for their education. I want them to meet people, the right sort of people, the people they would meet if they came here.
And you say they've no knowledge of your association with this nightclub?
None whatever. You see, they're the children of my first marriage. They haven't even the same name as mine. Besides, it wasn't any use telling them something they wouldn't understand.
Well, I'm afraid the school governors may not understand. Believe me, Mrs. Dean, I'm not a snob. But the majority of our pupils here are rather, well, to use a much abused phrase, well connected. As principal of this school, I have to be very careful not to offend anyone.
And you think I might be responsible for that?
Well, yes. I know in these days that it's quite customary for even titled people to engage in trade. But a night...
Now, listen to me for a moment. Don't imagine that I like that job any better than you do.
Then why?
I'll tell you why. When my first husband died, he left me enough money to bring up my 2 babies in a decent, quiet sort of way. Like a fool, I married again. A man who drank and gambled away every penny I had in the world. I don't know whether you've been on the rocks, Miss Littleton, but even if you have, I don't expect you've much idea. You can't have any idea of what it feels like to be left there with 2 helpless babies with the tide coming in. Gambling and drink has cheated them out of their place in the world. And rightly or wrongly, I don't care which, I said to myself that drink and gambling should put them back where they belong, and it's done it. At least, I thought it had until now.
Mrs. Dean, if I persuade the school governors to take these girls, will you give me your word never to disclose your association with this nightclub?
I'll go further than that. I'll promise never to see them in any place where the other parents might see us together. I won't see them or meet them at the railway stations. I'll stay away from all prize days and school functions.
As their mother, you'll find that promise very difficult to keep.
It's because I am their mother that I shall be able to keep it.
On that condition, I'll see what can be done. Would you be offended if I said how much I admire you?
Oh, thank you.
How did you get that bruise on your knee? I fell off my pony. You're always falling off. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Can't think what you want to be riding ponies for. Better than dancing all day long and singing, making silly eyes at choir boys. I never do. Yes, you do. I don't do, so there. You do. I do. You do. I don't do, so there.
I do wish Mother had been able to come down for prize giving.
She never is able to do anything.
She can't help being busy.
I say, do you think she's got a beau?
You would think so.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't. Oh, that's not fair with shoes on. Comme nous étions à Louvre aujourd'hui, un pelou me donne un coup d'œil.
Je ne peux pas comprendre.
Oh, let's stop talking this silly French. I said a soldier made eyes at me in the Louvre.
If you had been looking at the pictures, darling, you wouldn't have noticed.
I'm sick of pictures, sick of education. Oui, mademoiselle, no, mademoiselle. Bonjour, Monsieur le Professor. And all that piffle.
Oh, I don't know. I think we managed to have a pretty good time. I bet it's costing Mother a package sending us to a French finishing school. Anyway, there's only another 3 months.
3 months and then whoopee!
And so the good work goes on.
Got a cold, Albert?
Why?
You sneezed.
Who, me? I never did. You're looking happy tonight.
Well, why shouldn't I be? In 3 months' time, the girls will be home. Finished products, Albert, with all the advantages that education can give.
And a nice little drain on the banking account they've been.
Well, what else was it for? It's been worth it. We've kept going. We're still on the right side.
The right side, yes. But there have been 1 or 2 close calls with the law.
Yes, I know. I may be a fool, but sometimes I believe there's a sort of blessing on this place. As if the Lord said to itself, they're all right, not harming anyone. Let them alone.
It certainly looks that way.
Oh, it's a great feeling to be all right.
Shouldn't one ever watch all right, sir? Not that there have been any complaints about the place.
No, and there wouldn't be. People are too well looked after.
Better to let sleeping dogs lie sometimes, sir.
Sometimes, yes. But not when the Home Office and the superintendent are putting the screws on. Who have you got to make a pretty good showing in a dress suit?
There's Parker and Eve, sir.
Have them in.
Very good, sir. Fetching Parker and Eve.
Right, sir.
We pulled in that fellow that worked the Regent Street job. You want to see him, sir?
Later.
Very good, sir.
Sir? Ever heard of the Scarecrow Club?
Yes, sir.
Think you could pass yourselves in as members?
Yes, sir.
What colour handkerchief do you wear with a dress suit?
Red, sir.
This man's no good. Sergeant. Okay, I tell you what you got to do. Tomorrow night, you and another man. Who do you suggest?
There's Conway, sir.
Well, you and Conway will make yourselves way into the Scarecrow Club. Make your way into the gambling room.
Sun back in the sky, we gotta teach those bluebirds how to fly. We gotta stop them winging, stop them.
J'ai chanté, rien va plus.
No, I'm sorry, but this being a club, we make it a rule never to admit strangers unless introduced by a member.
I see. I'm sorry.
Hello. Here's young Wallington's name. I didn't know he came here.
Oh, do you know Mr. Wallington?
If he's the fellow I believe him to be, we were at Marlborough together.
Oh, come on, old friend. We're not wanted here.
Oh, no, wait a minute. If you know Mr. Wallington, of course that makes a difference. Albert, my manager, is away with influenza. He generally looks after the new membership, but I dare say it'll be all right. Would you mind signing here?
Oh, that's very kind of you.
That'll be 10 shillings subscription and a guinea entrance fee. John, will you take these hats and coats?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Rien va plus.
Any chance of a drink?
Certainly, monsieur. Whatever monsieur desires.
And make it a bottle of 93, will you? That was a brainy crack of yours about the register.
I tell you, I am smart.
You'll be a lot smarter if you pull your tie down a couple of inches.
Keep your eye on that door.
Well, Eves, what happened?
You can't go wrong, sir. We've had drinks there after hours every night, and there's always plenty of gambling going on.
Now go along there again tonight, and make no mistakes. 2 minutes to midnight. That's all.
Very good, sir.
Ah, good evening, gentlemen.
Oh, I'm glad to see you back again.
And you can't keep us away.
Turning the wheels, mate?
Ah, every night. Louis, should I say? I'll see you later.
Certainly.
This way, gentlemen.
Better, sir?
Yes, thanks.
I'm all right.
Hi, Albert. What are you doing out of bed?
Well, I've been there a week and it pretty near killed me.
You shouldn't have come out.
Well, I'm not going to lie in bed wearing holes in the sheets while you're doing 4 men's work.
We can manage quite all right.
It's not well enough for me.
Rien va plus. Rien va plus.
Those two blokes, those cops, who let them in?
What do you mean?
Those two chaps, one of them with a moustache.
What, Mr. Conway and Mr. Reed?
Never mind their blinking names, they're cops, I tell you, plain clothes men.
Albert, you don't mean...
I mean we've got to empty this place and empty it quick.
Yes, but surely, Albert...
Now get onto that button. Now, everybody out of here, please.
Just a moment.
Stand still, everybody. I'm a police officer. Stand still!
Just a little bit late, I'm afraid.
All right.
Come on, that lot. All right, Sergeant.
Stop. Paper. Paper. Stop. Paper. Paper. Stop. 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 Paper. Paper.
Darlings, I've been overworked and run down lately, so I've decided to run off to some quiet place for 10 or 12 weeks. Don't be surprised if you get no letters, and don't worry. I'm dropping everything for a while. Ever your loving mother.
Well, I like that.
So do I. I can't ever remember her having a holiday before.
Yes, but why no letters?
Well, that means nothing. You bet she'll write.
Come in. Oh, come in. Come and play something. What? You know, thing we heard the other day.
Yes,
Concrete or Nova. It's up
Marvelous.
Yes. Which I
Well,
will
I remember the bit.
Will you sing it for us? Would you like me to?
Love
Yes,
you,
I
sir.
We were so in love the day love started. Who would think that now we'd soon be parted? I just can't believe it's true. I make this appeal to you. Can't we talk it over before it's over? Before you tell me we're through. Now can't we sit together and figure whether this is the right thing to do? I hate the thought of spending nights all alone, missing the thrill of nights that we've known.
Want an English paper?
No, can't we talk it over before it's over? Before you whisper goodbye forever? Let's talk it over, dear. Can't we talk it over before it's over? Before you tell me we're through. Now can't we sit together and figure whether this is the right thing to do? I hate the thought of spending nights all alone, missing the thrill of nights that we've known.
S'il vous plaît, mademoiselle. Madame Desprez vous demande.
Wants me? Very well. Très bien.
Can't we talk it over before it's over? Before you whisper goodbye forever?
Dorothy.
What's up?
I'm sorry, you others, but do you mind?
Of course not. Darling.
Well, what?
We're leaving here this afternoon.
Whoopee! Why the long face?
This is why.
Well, that's a bit thick. Mother a nightclub queen. No wonder we didn't know what her business was. I call it hot.
Is that how you look at it?
We're being thrown out on our ears, aren't we?
Doesn't it mean anything that she's in prison?
Well, she must have known what she was doing to get herself there.
Why do you suppose she ever took the risk?
Wanted to get rich quick, I suppose.
Have you ever known her to do a selfish thing? Can't you see it was to give us a chance?
A fine chance for the mother in jail.
That's all you can think about yourself. Can't you see what she's done for us all these years?
You talk as if you know all about it.
I do. I've known for more than 12 months.
Why didn't you say?
Well, there are some things one's so proud of, one keeps to oneself.
Perhaps you're right. Poor mother.
If I could just put my arms about her.
A nightclub queen. I wonder if it was fun. It might have been.
This is Visitors' Day. The rule of the prison allows you one visitor.
Well?
A person giving the name of Albert and 2 young ladies awaiting, your daughters. You can choose which you'll see.
No one. No one. Say that I'm happy and would like to be left alone till the end of my sentence.
Is that all?
Give them my love.
Well, Albert,
It's no use waiting. She wouldn't see anyone.
I think I understand.
Well, where shall I take you?
Take me to the Scarecrow.
I'll drop off at home. Some friends are looking in for cocktails.
The Scarecrow.
You want to give me 5 bob?
That's you.
So we owe everything to you, do we? How funny. How do things stand, Albert?
Not so hot. What with the closing down and the wine bills and no profits coming in. Mind you, we ain't broke. Though we ain't so far off it.
We girls swallowed up most of the profits, I suppose.
Some of them.
Will Mother be able to live when she comes out? Will she have enough to live on?
Might scrape along.
This place belongs to her.
That's right. Bought the freehold.
Do you believe you can only make money by breaking the law?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as that.
Neither would I.
What's on your mind?
Albert, why shouldn't Dorothy and I run this club? Run it on the level.
We'd never get the old customers back without after-hours liquor and the wheel.
I shouldn't want them. We'd play for new customers. Dorothy and I know hundreds of people. Some of the richest people in town.
Hey?
How could it be otherwise after the schools we went to?
And you'd rope in that crowd?
Why not?
Sounds a bit of all right to me.
I say it is ripping of you to turn up like this. I know it's yours. Do you? I'm so glad. Have a good try. Thank you. Everything all right here? Fine. Enjoy yourself? Splendid. Sybil, darling. Oh, how sweet you look. Oh, no, please don't bother. Hello, Jules. Haven't you gone and got yourself married or something?
Not yet, darling, but it's in the air.
Excuse me, miss.
Oh, just a minute.
There's a lady Betty Sevington asking for you, miss.
Betty, where? In the train. Betty, darling, how grand of you to show up.
Oh, but we love it. Oh, I don't think you've met my brother, Alan.
No, how do you do?
How do you do? Won't you sit down and talk to us for a bit?
Well, I oughtn't to.
That's splendid. You've made a go of this place.
Dorothy has. Wait till you hear her sing.
Darling, how does it feel being an empress of the night?
So. But it's fun counting up the takings.
Weren't you the girl who was so crazy about horses?
Mad about them. And anything else outdoors.
I'm a good guesser, aren't I?
You two don't mind, do you? Oh, this was funny. It really was.
I suppose you must do that.
Yes, funny, isn't it?
Not very. Oh, well, leave my act.
Won't you let me take you on somewhere after we finish?
Maybe not.
You might.
Perhaps I might.
Sorry, sir, 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock, eh?
Yes, sir.
Same old racket, I see. Half as much again for the next.
There'll be no next bottle, sir.
Oh, I'll talk to the proprietor about that.
As you wish, sir. This gentleman wishes to speak to you, miss.
What's all this nonsense about not getting another drink?
I'm sorry, it's after hours.
I know all about that, my pretty.
Apparently you don't. This isn't the sort of club where you'll get another drink. Or find you're pretty.
You're looking conquered, old boy.
Why not? She's the finest girl I ever met. Let's get her down to the old man's place for day's hunting.
With you as the huntsman?
Oh, shut up.
All right, I'll do my best. But I'd keep the nightclub interest dark from dear Mama.
She's a darling.
Dear Mama.
Oh, be quiet.
Tomorrows for one yesterday, that's what I'd gladly trade. A mountain of sorrow now stands in my way, a mountain I foolishly made. A wall between you and I, a wall that seems to cry. Too late. I thought that love would always wait. I learned that love don't hesitate. Too late, too late. Love made. I heard my heart cry for a mate. I told my heart it had to wait until too late. I laughed at every love vow and paid the penalty. I used to laugh at love now. Love laughs at me. Too late. A fool will always play with fate. That's why I breached love's golden gate. Too late, too late.
Beer, please.
Double whiskey and soda, miss.
Franklin Dean, Cochrane.
I thought you were half a world away.
The climate got too hot for me.
Think it likely to be any cooler here?
Well, I've given it 13 years to chill off.
Well, here's a go.
Here's a go. Ah. Oh, not so bad, eh?
That girl? She's a knockout. Pulling them into the Scarecrow Club by hundreds every night.
The Scarecrow? Well, that's my wife's place. I heard about it out there. I thought I'd just look back to see how things were going.
You wouldn't miss a chance.
Well, I missed that one, all right. They put her away a month before I landed. But who's the girl?
Well, you ought to know if anyone should.
What? Dorothy. Well, isn't that a coincidence? Tell me, who is there in London nowadays that can cut a good dress coat?
Well, why not try that man? No.
Well, here we are. And here I go.
Hi, what time is it?
1:30.
You know, it was awfully nice of you to bring me back from the club.
It was nice of you to let me. Are you sure 10 o'clock's not too early for our ride in the park in the morning?
Oh, no, I'm always up by 8.
Then what about making it 9:30?
I can if you like.
That's a bet. Good night.
Good night. Dorothy?
No, you must let me go. Now, come on. Really, it's so late. Honestly, it is. No, really.
Oh, come on.
Come here, You're marvelous. Don't forget, call me up sometime. Yes, darling. Hello! Oh, I've had a most marvelous time.
Oh, Dorothy.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't do the Sister Annie.
But dear, it's awfully late.
Oh, late, my foot.
You'll knock yourself to bits if you don't get enough rest.
I'll get plenty when I'm dead.
Who have you been out with?
Who wants to know? If I work in a club every night till 1:30, I owe myself a little bit of fun after it.
So it's a daytime.
I'm not a daybird. It doesn't amuse me to walk for miles along the Thames embankment or go riding in the Row with penny lordlings.
I don't think we need drag friendships into this.
Then leave me and my friends alone. After all, who made the club a success?
Oh, yes, I know, dear.
Well, there's something else you'd better know. I've taken a flat in Devonshire Street for myself.
Oh, Dorothy, you...
Well, what of it?
Does one need to be a member to get into this place?
Not any longer, sir.
Albert. Isn't Anne here?
No, my lady. Miss Anne's gone hunting for the weekend. Can I get you anything?
Yes, usual champagne.
Champagne? Very good, ma'am.
Oh, it was sweet of you to send me those flowers.
Not at all. I hoped you liked them.
Of course, they were lovely. Oh, will you excuse me a moment? Is there something I can do for you?
Sit down, Dorothy.
You've got an awful cheek.
Well, how else should a man address his stepdaughter?
What?
I've traveled 8,000 miles for this. As soon as I heard what had happened to your mother, what sooner or later was bound to happen. So I threw up my business and everything to come to you.
What do you mean by what was bound to happen?
Well, I'm too much a man of the world to judge anybody, but it's in the blood with some people not to be able to run straight.
Are you trying to say that Mother...
What's the use? The law has said it for me.
But you're suggesting she was bad.
Did she ever tell you why we parted?
She never mentioned your name.
No, she wouldn't. And I dare say it's never occurred to you that there was a reason.
What reason?
No. Well, the main thing is that I'm here to stand by you and your sister.
We're getting along pretty well on our own.
Fine, I'm proud of you. Still, I'll just stick around for a bit.
All right.
Very good, sir. You better go and get ready for your act, Miss Dorothy.
Who do you think you're talking to?
This isn't a fit and proper person for you to associate with.
Who is this impertinent waiter?
You know very well who I am, and we don't want you for a customer here.
Albert, how dare you speak like that? This gentleman is my stepfather. Now go about your business.
Miss Dorothy.
Or better still, tell him to get me a sole bon femme and a bottle of Chablis.
Now listen to me.
You'll carry out that order.
And as the result of your good conduct, your sentence has been remitted by 2 weeks.
My good conduct. I wonder what you expected I was going to do.
We won't enter into that. You will recover liberty on the 14th instant.
About that, sir, I would like to have as little publicity as possible.
I see what you mean. Press photographers and the like. It is possible you may be released overnight.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I see he was here on Saturday and again last night.
That's right.
That's the reason why the books are wrong.
Miss Dorothy, give him £15 to my certain knowledge. Apart from eating and drinking and not paying for nothing.
But you said he told Dorothy he was well off.
Lord Lavaduck. How do you suppose he took your mother for all she had if he couldn't tell the tale?
What's on, a conspiracy?
Dorothy, I've been
If
going...
it's about steppapa, you can cut it out. Cheer up, Longface. Take it from me, he's not a bad sport.
He seems to have taken it from you all right, as he did from Mother.
It doesn't do to believe all you hear. There are two sides to every case.
That's what success and flattery does for a girl.
Albert, I'm beginning to wish I'd never taken it on.
Still, we've got a lot to be grateful for.
I know.
A very handsome profit last week.
Oh, there. Do you find it absolutely necessary to come here every night?
There are no nights off for a guardian angel.
To judge by what you have had from us in the last few days, we'd be better off without one.
Oh. But are you the best judge of that?
The gentleman on the phone asking to speak to you, miss.
Oh, thank you. Hello? Oh, Alan.
And, darling, only that I want to be hearing your voice day and night. As a matter of fact, there is another thing. I want to let it be known that we're engaged. I want to blazon it before the whole world.
Please, not yet. How can I? Just think what Mother... But what would your people say? Just a little while longer to please me.
But, darling, I tell you, when the Votes for Women craze was on, the old Duchess herself did a month.
Oh, adorable idiot. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Bless you.
Just a minute, Dorothy. Can't be done. I've only got 2 minutes to get dressed. See you later. Pom, 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 pom.
Mrs. Dean, well, if this isn't like old times, will you shake? Welcome out, bless your heart. Of course, you've heard about the nightclub doing the biggest trade in London since them young ladies took it over.
What young? Take me there as quickly as possible.
Where is human, I heard you say, forgiveness is divine. But all the sweet things you may say can't mend this heart of mine. Never thought that anyone in their right mind could ever treat another human so unkind. Didn't you sneak away and leave a note behind? Was that the human thing to do? Always thought that yours was such a heart of gold, but after I was sold and all the tales you told, didn't you let your kisses turn from hot to cold? Was that the human thing to do? Never thought that anyone in their right mind could ever treat another human so unkind. Didn't you sneak away and leave a note behind? Was that the human thing to do? Always thought that yours was such a heart of gold, but after I was sold and all the tales you told, didn't you let your kisses turn from hot to cold? Was that the human thing to do? The way love and leave me crying.
Oh, stop that music!
This is all very well, but...
Go and get dressed. Go and get dressed, I say. This place is my property, and tonight I wish to be left alone in it. You needn't worry about your bills. Consider you were my guests. Good night.
I've been coming here for the last 5 years, and now we're...
I shall never forgive you for this. Never, never.
What do you make of all that?
Oh, a press stunt. It only surprised me there was no camera there.
Oh, I dare say all right. Remember I told you, my dear, what's bred in the blood?
You! A fine way of showing gratitude. After keeping things going for you while you were in jail.
Keeping things going? Dressed like that and with him?
Oh, Mother, you don't understand.
I broke the law and went to jail to give you two girls a decent place in the world. And this is what it's done for you.
Oh, let's go home and talk it over quietly.
Count me out. I never want to see you again. Never.
Dorothy.
You see what you've done, my dear? Better let me drive you home.
All right. She said she never wanted to see me again.
Now, Mrs. Dean.
Oh, Mother, darling, she didn't know what she was saying.
Drink this, my dear. Do you good. Why be upset on account of a worthless woman?
Don't. I don't want to talk. I want to be alone.
You're hurt, and naturally. But after all, what does it amount to? Jealousy. She grudged you the success you worked for and earned.
Yes, but I was doing it for her. Both of us were.
That was your mistake. Evelyn never was a worthy object for charity. The great thing in life is to discover one's real friends. You and I understand one another, eh? See what a team we'd make. Your beauty and cleverness, and my knowledge of the world. Your beauty. Has anyone ever told you how beautiful you are? These friendships you have with infatuated boys, what use are they to a girl like you? Now, drop that thing and listen to me.
Don't. Don't look at me like that. Let me go.
Let me go. Can't you get the number?
Wait, I can hear her voice. I don't understand.
Give it to me. Dorothy, do you hear me? Dorothy.
Let me go. Let me go, I tell you.
Oh, Dorothy.
Let me go. You're horrible. Horrible. Beast. Filthy beast.
What are you afraid of? Am I different to any other man you entertain at night?
Stay away from me. Stay away from me, I tell you. Keep away from me.
Oh, but
Keep
Dorothy.
Oh, no! Dorothy! Oh, my... Quickly, quickly.
well, sir.
Porter! Is my sister in?
No, miss, she left 5 seconds ago. Kind of wild-like.
Then it was her.
Come on.
We are friends again. Aren't we, Mother? Dorothy, my baby. Oh, no, Mother. Oh.
No, Alan. After what's happened, you must see that I can't.
What sort of a fair weather love do you think mine is?
It isn't that, Alan. It's your people.
Wait a minute. I'm not asking you to marry my people. You're going to marry me.
No.
I say yes. Now listen, sweetheart. I know very well who'll take charge later, but until you're my wife, I'll give the orders and you'll obey them.
I wish you wouldn't make things so difficult.
I'm going to make it impossible for you to escape.
Seen the happy couple off?
Yes, they looked radiant, both of them.
I bet they did. She's going to be a loss, Miss Anne.
I have lost both of them.
Lady Anne Seffington. You ought to be a proud woman.
Of her? I am.
Of yourself, I mean.
For breaking the law?
One can think too much about that.
Or too little. The law is just one's conscience, Albert, put into words. They both have to be settled with in the end. What are you doing?
Just cleaning up this curtain with a drop of benzene.
Cleaning up, then?
Don't come too near with that cigarette.
Cleaning up. Albert, the insurance policy on this place has lapsed, hasn't it?
That's right. I meant to ask you to make out a check. No point in carrying all the risks yourself.
I've done it for a good many years with you to help. One gets used to them. Oh, don't bother about that.
Right you are. Well, I'll just pop along home before we open.
Right.